Okay, so I had oppositional defiant disorder, and or also called ODD. So what is oppositional defiant disorder? A disorder in a child marked by defiant and disobedient behavior to authority figures. This includes a frequent and ongoing pattern of anger, irritability, arguing, and defiance toward parents and other authority figures. Also, according to Mayo Clinic, these emotion and behavioral issues cause serious problems with family life, social activities, and school. So the IDEA categorizes it as a DSM-5, which is under disruptive impulsive control and conduct disorders. Could also fall under other health impairments. So there's six basic characteristics of ODD. I actually work at a place where I have a very special kid that has ODD. So getting chosen for this disorder definitely was helpful and insightful for me. So, six characteristics of ODD are one, become easily angered, annoyed, or irritated. Two, have frequent temper tantrums, and we're not just saying 2 year olds having temper tantrums, but 6, 7, 8 year old having temper tantrums. Number three, argue frequently with adults, particularly the most familiar adults in their lives, such as parents or teachers. As a future educator, knowing that a kid could argue with me because I'm with them 8 hours a day, just knowing how to help that kid. Number four, refuse to obey rules. The kid that I work with, he definitely thinks that rules don't apply to him, and that's textbook ODD. Seem to deliberately try to annoy or aggravate others other than themselves. So just doing anything to make a kid turn his or her head toward them, or banging on the table just to make noise. And finally, number six is to blame others, seek to blame others for any accidents or behavioral or bad behavior. Which that can be anything from pushing something off the desk, blaming somebody else, or something major. Next is the diagnosis of ODD. So, to determine whether a child has oppositional defiant disorder, a mental health provider does a thorough psychological exam. ODD often occurs along with other behavioral or mental health problems, so it may be difficult to determine which symptoms are from ODD or which ones are linked to other problems. Children with ODD usually begin showing symptoms around 6 to 8, so kindergarten to first grade, although the disorder can emerge in younger children too. I really like this picture of the circles and the different colors because oppositional defiant disorder is so like specific. But you also can think, oh, my kid is just doesn't want to listen or just has a hard time sitting still or doing these things. But ADHD, ADD, depression, all OCD, all of these can go into being ODD. Next is evidence based accommodations for ODD. So, unlike some of the disorders and things that were on the list, there isn't really a technology or things like that for a kid with ODD. But to start from the bottom of the list, it says making sure that there isn't anything else alongside ODD, which would indicate that a kid needs medicine. So, ADHD, ADD, those go hand in hand. So just making sure all kids have medicine to make sure that they are getting that. IEPs for learning issues that are associated with ODD, giving more time to complete assignments. So that kind of goes along with the IEPs if there are learning issues that come out of having a kid with ODD, giving them breaks for the classroom that help them cool down from begin before getting too overwhelmed. So maybe having a teacher that you know is on board that you can send them to give them a note, or just simple things to get them out of the room, take a breath, go see something else, and come back. Having that child have a desk or table that is closest to or to the teacher. That was my accommodation number one. So I will explain. Hello. So, one accommodation that I would make for a kid with ODD, there's not really anything like technology or things like that, but it's more of just recognizing the strong willed and emotion that that kid has, and kind of using it as a power for them. So the first thing I would do is probably sit them as close as I can to me, so that way I can either just put my hand on his or her desk, or simply just look at them, making sure that they know that I am in charge and I'm the one that they need to be listening to. And then my next accommodation is I'll play the video. Hopefully you can hear the sound. And my second accommodation is just reinforcing positive behavior. So for all kids, but especially children with ODD, it's important to switch the focus from recognizing negative behavior to seeking out and demonstrating the positive ones. So sending home positive notes, when students show like improvement in his or her behavior. Offering kids like privileges. So if his or her privilege is to be the line leader, or to not like taking those privileges away as a punishment, so not taking away those punishments, but like allowing them to perform well, and then treat them and like have those go hand to hand. Not like, oh, you acted out, this is your consequence, but more of, you acted out, this is why you don't get this. Having that positive behavior. Oh, you sat in your seat all day, you didn't get mad at your friends all day, here's your reinforcement for that behavior. So that's what I would do as an accommodation. And kind of going back to the evidence-based accommodations, this little image that I put on here, I really like, strategies for oppositional kids. Um, there's a lot of good ways to help a kid in a classroom. So developing routines, being consistent. If a kid knows that they're going to do A, B, C, and D in a day in the next 5 hours, that helps them not get angry because there's something new on their plate. Avoiding power struggles. So if you know a kid does not like to do something, don't make that kid do that. Knowing or just letting a kid know that they have a fresh start every single day. Identifying the triggers, so kind of going avoiding the power trip or the struggles, but just making sure that you know what makes a kid mad, and just staying calm in times of stress. As a teacher, it's calm not just for the ODD kid, but the rest of your kids in your class. If you stay calm, if a kid is getting out of control, or getting a temper tantrum, or doing things of that sort. And here are my resources, and thank you so much.